Welcome back. It's hard how we rely so much on electricity these days. We are not until the power goes out that we don't realize just how much we depend on it. And I'm not just talking about watching TV or charging your phone. I'm talking about cooking. What happens when you can't just pop something in the microwave or fire up the stove? That's when things get real, my friends. Having reliable indoor cooking methods during emergencies or power outages is crucial. We're talking about being able to cook a hot meal safely and efficiently within the confines of your own home. That's why I wanted to test out and compare 5 different off-the-grid indoor cooking methods that actually work. We're going to dive deep into the pros and cons of each method, looking at their efficiency, usefulness, cost-effectiveness, and practicality. And don't worry, we're not messing around with any flimsy DIY hacks like tea light candles or tuna can burners. These are real-deal cooking solutions that can handle the heat when the lights go out. So, let's get cooking. Let's kick things off with a familiar face in many kitchens, the trusty hot plate. Now I know what you're thinking. Hot plates are about as exciting as watching paint dry. But hold on. When paired with a power station, they transform into a viable off-grid cooking solution. For this test, I snagged a reliable hot plate and hooked it up to my trusty power station. The setup was a breeze, just plug and play, baby. But here's the thing about hot plates. They're notorious energy hogs, and that's something to keep in mind when you're relying on a finite power source like a power station. To put it to the test, I decided to boil a pot of water. Now, I'm not gonna lie, it took a hot minute, or should I say a hot 20 minutes. The hot plate chugged along slowly but surely, heating the water. And while it eventually got the job done, it definitely put a dent in the power station's battery life. So, here's the verdict on the hot plate and power station combo. It's undeniably convenient and easy to use, but its energy consumption is a major drawback. If you're dealing with a short-term power outage, this duo can definitely save the day. But for extended off-grid situations, you might want to consider a more energy-efficient option. Think of it like this. The hot plate is like that friend who shows up to a potluck with a bag of chips. Sure, they brought something, but it's not exactly the main course, is it? You need something that can handle the heavy lifting, something that can cook up a feast without draining your power reserves. Now I know what you're thinking. Mark, you're making me hungry with all this talk about feasts. Don't worry, we'll get to the food part soon enough. But first, we need to explore some other off-grid cooking contenders. Things are about to get a whole lot more interesting. Next up, we're diving into the world of portable butane stoves with the Iwatani Butane Stove. Now this little guy is a legend in the camping world, and for good reason. It's compact, lightweight, and packs a serious punch when it comes to heat output. But how does it fare as an indoor cooking option? Let's find out. First things first, safety is paramount when you're dealing with any type of fuel-burning appliance indoors. The Iwatani Butane Stove is designed with safety in mind, featuring a built-in pressure sensor that shuts off the gas flow if it detects any abnormalities. Plus, it uses those convenient butane canisters, which are readily available and easy to swap out. Setting up the Iwatani is a breeze. Simply pop in a butane canister, twist the control knob, and you're good to go. The stove ignites with a satisfying click, and within seconds, you've got a powerful flame ready to tackle your culinary needs. To put its cooking prowess to the test, I decided to whip up a batch of my famous pancakes. Yeah, I'm talking about those fluffy golden brown beauties that'll make your taste buds sing. The Iwatani handled the task like a champ, heating the pan evenly and cooking the pancakes to perfection. But it wasn't just the pancakes that impressed me. I also used the Iwatani to boil water for tea, simmer a pot of soup, and even sear a steak. This little stove tackled every challenge I threw at it with ease. Now, let's talk about efficiency. Butane stoves are known for their fuel efficiency, and the Iwatani is no exception. A single butane canister can last for hours of cooking, making it a cost-effective option for off-grid cooking. Overall, the Iwatani Butane Stove is a winner in my book. It's safe, efficient, easy to use, and incredibly versatile. Whether you're facing a power outage or simply want a reliable portable cooking option, the Iwatani is a fantastic choice. It's time to address the elephant in the room, the GasOne Propane Stove. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This one's a bit of a wild card. It's a beast of a stove, designed for outdoor use with its high heat output and sturdy construction. But I know some of you are curious about its indoor capabilities, so I decided to conduct some tests with a big disclaimer. I do not recommend using a propane stove indoors unless it's specifically designed for it. Safety is my top priority, so I took every precaution imaginable. I set up the GasOne in a well-ventilated area, far away from any flammable materials. I also had a fire extinguisher on hand just in case. Remember folks, safety first. With all the safety measures in place, I fired up the GasOne. This thing means business. The flame roared to life, and within seconds I could feel the heat radiating from the burner. It was like having a miniature sun in my kitchen. For my first test, I decided to boil a large pot of water. The GasOne made quick work of it, bringing the water to a rolling boil in record time. It was impressive, I'll give it that. But here's the thing. The sheer power of the GasOne made it difficult to control the heat. Even on the lowest setting, the flame was still quite intense. This made it challenging to simmer delicate sauces or cook foods that require precise temperature control. Another thing to consider is the ventilation factor. Propane stoves produce carbon monoxide, a colorless, odorless gas that can be deadly in enclosed spaces. Even with proper ventilation, I could smell a faint hint of propane in the air. So here's the bottom line on the GasOne Propane Stove. It's a powerful and efficient cooking option, but it's not designed for indoor use. If you're looking for a reliable outdoor cooking solution for camping or tailgating, the GasOne is a great choice. But when it comes to indoor cooking, I recommend sticking with safer alternatives. Let's shift gears now and talk about a more compact and budget-friendly option: alcohol stoves. These little guys are incredibly simple in design, yet surprisingly effective for cooking in a pinch. They're lightweight, portable, and can be fueled by readily available denatured alcohol. There are various types of alcohol stoves available, from DIY soda can stoves to more durable, commercially made options. For this test, I decided to go with a Trangia spirit burner, a classic alcohol stove known for its reliability and efficiency. Setting up the Trangia is as easy as it gets. Simply fill the burner with denatured alcohol, light it up, and place your pot or pan on top. The flame is adjustable, allowing you to control the heat output to some extent. Now, don't expect to be whipping up gourmet meals on an alcohol stove. These are best suited for simple cooking tasks like boiling water, simmering soups, or heating up pre-cooked meals. To test its capabilities, I decided to make a pot of ramen noodles, a classic comfort food that's perfect for emergency situations. The Trangia heated the water steadily, and within minutes I had a steaming bowl of noodles ready to devour. One thing to note about alcohol stoves is that they can be a bit slow to cook with compared to gas stoves, but on the plus side, they're incredibly fuel efficient. A small bottle of denatured alcohol can last for multiple meals, making it a cost-effective option for off-grid cooking. Overall, alcohol stoves are a great addition to any emergency preparedness kit. They're affordable, compact, easy to use, and surprisingly effective for basic cooking tasks. Just don't expect to be whipping up a 5-course meal on one of these little guys. Last but not least, let's talk about the underdog of the off-grid cooking world: canned heat. Now I know what you're thinking. Canned heat? Isn't that what my grandpa used to use for fondue parties back in the day? And you're not wrong. Canned heat might seem a bit old school, but it's still a viable option for certain cooking situations, especially when it comes to heating up food or boiling small amounts of water. It's readily available, affordable, and incredibly easy to use. For this test, I grabbed a standard can of sterno and a small pot. Simply place the can of sterno on a heat-resistant surface, light it up, and set your pot on top. The flame is relatively low and controlled, making it suitable for gentle heating tasks. Now let's be realistic. Canned heat isn't going to win any awards for speed or efficiency. It's best suited for slow cooking stews, soups, or heating up pre-cooked meals. To put it to the test, I decided to heat up a can of soup. The sterno did a decent job, slowly bringing the soup to a simmer. It wasn't the fastest method, but it got the job done eventually. One thing to keep in mind with canned heat is that it produces a fair amount of soot, so it's best used outdoors or in well-ventilated areas. Also, the heat output can be a bit finicky to control, so it might take some trial and error to find the sweet spot for your cooking needs. Overall, canned heat is a budget-friendly and convenient option for basic heating tasks, but it's not the most efficient or versatile cooking method out there. It's a good backup option to have in your emergency kit, but I wouldn't rely on it as your primary cooking source. Whether you're facing a power outage, prepping for an emergency, or simply want to expand your cooking horizons, These options have got you covered. Remember, being prepared is key. By having a plan and the right tools on hand, you can face any challenge that comes your way. Stay safe, stay prepared.